Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Karaoke Andy here, and today we're going to trade live the EU session. It's the 7th of January 2026, and let me just quickly check if I'm in fact live. Give me 1 second. So where do I do that? Okay. Yeah, here it says I'm live. Very good, very well. I hope all of you had a lovely Christmas and Happy New Year. So I certainly could spend some time with my family. It's not only trading, right? So today start a little bit earlier. Have couple of things to talk about before the markets open. DAX will open in approximately 28 minutes. So let me just share my screen here. There you go. So, but before we do anything else, this disclaimer is important. This year, everything during this stream and the recording, this is no financial advice. This is only for educational purposes. Trading involves risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research before trading. This stream and its recording is for educational purposes only and includes an affiliate link. Who would have thought? Okay, so now, I'm closing down the karaoke trading desk. Frankly, I don't want to continue things that nobody wants. I put in the work, the pre-market analysis, live execution, post-trade explanations. The participation and demand simply are not there. So this is not a pause and not a rebrand. The desk will be shut down and no content will be archived. In fact, I already have done that. So that's gone. My focus going forward is on my own trading. Live trading sessions like this one-to-one mentorships and broker partnerships. If you follow my work, you'll still find me trading live and sharing openly. Right? Nothing about that will change. If you were here just to watch silently, this changes nothing. That's all. Okay, so with that out of the way, I already said it in the last stream. I currently trade 3 accounts. I have my TD365 account, a Trade Nation account, and also an FTMO challenge, right? So that's the 3 accounts I'm trying to juggle here at the same time. I really have to look into that. Some of you guys are doing copy trading, but I believe that all requires using the same platform, and then you get into certain details. Anyway, so I have promoted, you can even say, promoted TD365 for a very long time. The reason is I traded with them myself for almost 5 years, and I still have a TD365 account. Yeah? So you just need to understand why I'm suddenly promoting Trade Nation. TD365 and Trade Nation are the same company under one hood, right? Trade Nation is the main brand, and that's simply where also my affiliate agreement sits now. So if you want to support my content, and if you're looking for a broker, you might consider open your account with Trade Nation. Yeah? So, and the reason I am with Trade Nation, let me get myself out of the way here, is simply the cost of trading, right? So you can go to Trade Nation's website. There is a little spread calculator. When you put on a trade, you have to pay for it, right? The broker always wins. And to me, if I buy 10 lots of the DAX, right, I want to do that with the cheapest broker out there, if that makes sense. Because to me, trading the DAX, that's a commodity. Yeah, that's like a Big Mac, right? Trade Nation as well as TD365, they're both unique. You probably won't find a cheaper CFD broker. Depends a little bit on the instruments that you trade. So I encourage you always to do your own research. But it's hard to beat them in terms of cost of trading. So you have low and fixed spreads, right? So let's say you trade the DAX at 5 contracts, whatever that means, €5 a point, right? Let's say €5 a point. And you take 3 trades per day. There are 250 trading days per year, right? So, and then just compare, yeah? So for example, eToro, I always use that in those comparisons. They are a very popular broker, but they have spreads there so wide that a fucking Boeing can fly through. So, you know, the spread is 3.58 points wide, right? So you end up for your 3 trades per day at the end of the year, you pay eToro 13,532 euros in bid-ask commission, right? So whereas you would pay Trade Nation only 3,780 euros. Yeah? That means there is almost 10,000 euros more in your pocket, right? And to me, that's not insignificant. Yeah. So compare for yourself. Always do that, please. The benefits of Trade Nation is they are tier 1 regulated. Your funds, they lie with Barclays Bank in London. Last time I checked, you get high leverage. Depends on the geolocation. Definitely what should be the main factor are the low and fixed spreads. And for some people, it's also important they have TradingView integration, right? So let me get back in here. Hello there. Okay. And yeah, for your convenience here, I created, I didn't know that actually, that Chrome browser actually allows you to create QR codes. You put in a URL, and there's a function there. Maybe you haven't seen that. So if you scan that QR code here, basically get to this web address. You can also type that in. That's my affiliate link. So if you sign up with Trade Nation using this link, you would support me, and that comes at no extra cost to you. So now that let's stop the commercial now. But I would be very glad. So anyway, I made a free video series about trading. Yeah, if you're really a beginner and want to learn the ropes, like really from the beginning, yeah, then this might be for you. I call that Day Trading Foundations. Again, you find that on my YouTube channel at Karaoke Andy. Also, there's a link on my website, karaokeandy.com, learn trading. Or you can, to get through that playlist, again, scan that QR code for your convenience here. This YouTube series walks you through the trading from the ground up in normal language. You know, you see me sitting there I use Microsoft Paint and trying to explain you what a swing high and swing low is. So real examples, right? No fake promises. And after that, you should be well equipped to get yourself some material, for example, from L. Brooks, and study further. But it should, you know, my goal was just to cut through the noise, because there's so much nonsense out there. And I have looked for a long time for sources to learn from. So that's basically what I provide here. Anyway, it's for free. It's on YouTube. Just check it out. So the plan for today. I will use entry techniques from Tom Hugard. They are ideal for live trading because they occur predictably. There will be the espresso at 9. There will be the school run at 9:30, right? So so the path is clear. Mechanical entries, discretionary exits. Today I just want to focus on the DAX. I also sometimes trade the FTSE. I will get into that in a second. And yeah, today I will do something a little bit differently. I will trade a prop firm challenge. Yeah, who would have thought? So the reason is simply because a lot of my followers on X, on the X platform, are using prop firms, and all they talk about is funding and challenges and whatnot. So it's a little bit harder because prop firms, they impose rules that you simply don't have when you trade with a broker. The other hand, if you blow up, yeah, you just lost the money that you paid for the challenge. But you have to put up with all those rules, and you have to pass that bloody challenge before you are eligible for a payout, right? So anyway, during my last corporation, right, so I got curious a little bit myself. So I bought a bloody challenge. I'm located in Prague, and so is FTMO. So I bought an FTMO challenge. Guess what, right? So, and I'm trading that a little bit on the side. So for me, when I talk about risk management, right? Also in that video series, I distinguish between trading with a broker and with a prop firm. The reason is simple, because that 100K challenge, yeah, you can't just trade it as if that was a 100K account. It simply isn't, because you have a 10K maximum drawdown, right? So if you accumulate $10,000 or whatever the currency is in losses, you lose the challenge, right? And on a daily basis, there is a 5K maximum daily drawdown, right? So so you can't base your risk if you say I'm risking 1% or 2%. You can't pretend you have a 100K account. You should probably trade it as if you had a 10K account. I trade, you know, I'm risking something like 5% of this here. Yeah. So that's how I approach it. I've never done that before, really. So let's see. So anyway, markets will open in 15 minutes. Let's close this slide here. Let's look at the chart. So look here, when I did that analysis, that's the overnight high. Now, in the meantime, in the last couple minutes, DAX was already, kissing here the big number, the 25,000. Anyway, my notes that I have taken are reflecting what I looked at, I don't know, half an hour ago or so. Yeah. So, yeah, 828. So, so you have, for me, I look always at those, let's call them key levels, right? So, previous cash high and previous cash low and previous cash close. So, that is basically in the DAX, that is between 9 and 5:30 p.m., right? So that is the cash market session. So, and I simply mark down the low and the high and the close, right? They came in at 24,971. That's the cash high. Here the green line. The cash low was 836. That's here. For the close, I always look at the official number, not necessarily what the chart tells me, because it's never really accurate. So that came in at 892. And then personally, I define everything after the cash close already as overnight. Overnight to me is just between cash close and cash open, right? So when and there again, I just mark down the high and the low, and calculate the midpoint, right? So the high, as we know, as I've noted down, 996. Now we were already at 25,004. The overnight low came in at 880, so like 160 points range so far, and the midpoint is 938. So why do I do all of that? Well, because you need to have an idea what could happen, right? So scenarios. So we have 12 more minutes. Price is trading well above the previous cash close and above online overnight mid. So currently is trading at the overnight high, right? So that keeps the pre-market tone firm, but price is extended into prior reference highs. So right now, we should focus maybe what happens after the open. So if price opens above the highs here and holds, the continuation higher is possible, right? With that overnight high here acting as support. Failure to hold above after the open would favor a rotation back towards overnight mid or previous cash close. Yeah. So my bias would be bullish while we're above overnight high, but extended patience on pullback, right? So now, so where can that all go? Now, if we look left, there is nothing because we are in all-time highs, right? So what we can do is we take here the Fibonacci tool and just try to mark down here the cash high and cash low, right? So and try to extend that move here. That gives us some ideas. So if price extends 27.2% above previous cash high, it would come in already at that level that we just tested. So the next would be the 414 extension, 50% extension, and we can also switch on, in my case, traditional pivot points. So here's R1 level coming in at 502, sorry, at 25,021, and the next at 79. So that can give us an idea where this can all go. So I'm trading a challenge today, as I said. So let's bring up that bloody thing. So you see, I already got into a drawdown here, and now I'm slowly getting out of there. Hopefully we can continue that. Why I don't want to trade the FTSE is, let me take myself out of the way. You see here that I made profit in the DAX, also in the Nasdaq, a little bit in the Dow Jones, but I seem to have lost a lot in the FTSE. So I don't know, honestly, if FTMO charts are different from Trade Nation charts, or if that has something to do with my edge or whatever. To me, that's a little bit much, so I will leave that alone for now, right? So, okay, what do we have here? That's the wrong chart. Let's take the DAX. We go to a 5-minute chart. So I'm trading at $12.50 a point. So, by the way, I have created for myself a little tool here that allows me to close 75, 50, and 25% of the current position. I also created here a little indicator that will put numbers on the bars from basically from the open, or from where I define it, because I usually reference bar numbers when I talk about it. That helps me a little bit. And also, since I trade the espresso religiously, I have created here a little indicator that helps with the offset levels, right? Because you need a large offset. You can just type that in. In my case, I'm using 19 points today. Yeah, that thing will just display those lines there. And then it's easy for me to just drop on those lines the orders, right? So if you want those, you can get them for free here on my website. Here's a tool section, and for example, the offset, right? Here's the code. Nothing fancy. Can just copy and paste it into C-Trader in this case, and be golden. All right. So anyway, 5 minutes more to go. I will be a couple of minutes silent, take a sip from my electrolytes. Cheers. So, and we're back in. So today at 11, inflation rate year over year flash on the European level and the Italian level will come out at 4 p.m. There will be ISM services PMI and the JOLTS job openings. That usually doesn't really move the DAX at 9 in the morning. So can safely ignore that. So if anybody in the chat, I don't know how to open that. But let's focus on getting those orders in. I will look into that. If you have some questions or anything that we can answer during the stream, I will look into that after the trading. So I will put in already a long order, and I'm using arbitrary 40-point stop loss, risking, I mean, it's a sim account anyway, something like $584 in that case. So since that current bar is moving down, I'll wait a little bit. I can put in the order and then I just need to probably move it manually, right? There you go. That's what I mean. You see, now I need to adjust. So, and I will do that for the next 45 seconds or so until the market opens. CTrader is not the worst platform once you learn its quirks. 8 seconds. Oh, I need to put the long order now. There we go, and we're open. Now I have to switch that off. It looks like we're going to get filled long. And there we are long. Of course, what can happen is that once we pushed above the overnight high here, so we are officially open now and traded above 25,000. This is a level where you could expect some profit taking. So what can happen is that we just simply get stopped out here. The espresso, as I use it, is a technique to capture early momentum, right? So we need to rely on a push higher. what I will do, I will tighten my risk a little bit. The reason is simple. If there should be some profit taking, we would take, I want to take the flip already below prior bar low. Somewhere around here. Stop loss would be above the current high. Somewhere around here. So that's a little bit now in the green. So let's see if we manage to close above the overnight high. Close comes in 45 seconds. Ten seconds. There we go. Yes, that was a close above. Yeah, that's a bullish signal. So I will close the short order here. And now I feel I need maybe a little bit more stop loss. Problem is I move stop loss only in one direction, and that is up in this case. Okay, there are plenty of reasons to buy later. For example, when the aggressive school run comes in 15 minutes, to me would be interesting to see. Come on, DAX, it's really fighting with that level. Oh, now we're pushing above. All right. So now I need to, where is my trading view? I need to have an idea. We are already at the 14 Fibonacci extension. Remember that that here, right? I tried to gauge some possible levels. I will take half off here, put stop loss to break even, and let's see what happens. This, you know, those big round numbers, 25,000, that is cash. So they are significant. So we could really see here some profit taking. Unless this would be one of those rare occasions where we get a one-off trend day, in which case we still have 50% of the position on with stop loss at break even. Wow. I'm always looking in parallel at a Trade Nation chart because honestly that FTMO seems to be slightly different. Slightly, ever so slightly. But sometimes it matters. The price is also a tiny little bit different. Yeah. Okay, the 50% extension over previous cash session would come in at around 37. So now we need to survive the pullback. We're sitting just above the R1 pivot, 21.4, not trading below that. So pullback coming in. Profits are disappearing. Not dead yet. Now we are stopped out. Okay, cool. So what did we do here? Oh wow, even with some slippage. Aha. Yeah. Moving stop loss to break even. There you go. Right. So $94 on the half position. Certainly not a very significant amount. Ooh. One could get a little bit of FOMO here. They were hunting our stops, right? Our stops are a giant target. Uh-oh. Bloody hell. It sometimes feels like that, right? That they know exactly where the stops are and they're just And now this here is a sim account. So This is just nonsense, right? And even if I trade on Trade Nation, on a real broker account, I'm trading CFDs. So that's a synthetic instrument. Wow, look at that on here. That looks different, right? See here. Okay, I probably was my internet had a little hiccup there. I was just about to point out that this looks like a hammer bar on Trade Nation and not on FTMO, but then I realized, okay, there was an internet hiccup. Anyway, so bulls and bears are fighting here. And of course, the overnight high could give some support. Let's wait for the close. I have my wrong glasses on, so I don't see much. So, okay. So bar number 3 closed below its midpoint. To me, we are clearly bouncing off of support here. Overnight high is support. Didn't trade below that. You might as well buy the DAX again. It's a risk I'm willing to take here. Maybe in a smaller position size would be. Anyway. Who is writing me there all the time? Okay. Christian, my friend, is writing me. There is a 20 to 22 seconds delay. A bloody hell, huh? Yeah, you shouldn't follow what I'm doing anyway. This is for educational purposes only. Yeah. Okay, so far there is no follow through. Looks like the current bar number 4 is an inside bar to bar number 3. Bulls need to push buff prior bar high. Now what, I will take 50% off. This was just a discretionary decision to be long the DAX again. I'm not entirely comfortable with that without more confirmation. Looking at the current bar, I thought there would be a little bit more momentum, but I think generally my bias is unchanged, is still long. We closed clearly above the overnight high in all-time high. The only issue that I always have in the back of my head is that possible profit taking around that big round number here. Yeah, so the overnight high was 25,004, and the first 5-minute bar closed at 7. The second 5-minute bar closed at 27. Now we see an inside bar. Number 4 is an inside bar of number 3. So which shows indecisiveness. The upper shadow is a little bit longer than the lower shadow. So when we're now trading below, but actually not on Trade Nation. Not yet. And that's what I mean. Sometimes details matter, right? Here here we are still in the context of an inside bar. And now we are also here trading below. Okay. Some more buyers stepping in now, below prior bar low. Again on Trade Nation right now I have a color change, which is kind of significant. Now here is absolutely no body. Now there was a slight color change. Yeah, it can go up and can go down, can also go sideways, right? So maybe we end up in a boring trading range. I don't know. Come on, DAX. Push higher. Autobahn. Uh, now range top. Give me more. I want more points. Bloody hell. It's not my favorite speed here. Would love, you know, after the open to see much more momentum in either direction, right? But we should be long, so need to follow our conviction. Now then again, if everybody sees what I am seeing and everybody is much smarter than me, maybe doing the opposite is a good idea. No, we have not traded above yet, not pushed above yet. So if that closes in 8 seconds, we will have an outside, inside, outside pattern. Whatever bloody that means, right? For me, that means maybe to close that whole bloody thing down and wait for the school run. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Coming down now, huh? Mm-hmm. Bulls not giving up, but I sure as fuck didn't like that push. But again, would be naive if we would expect that to be easy. You can only swing the bat and control the risk. Tom Hugard famously said, right? And if he says that, I'm not sure if he quotes somebody else, Bryce Gilmore or whoever, or those legends, you know, Dr. David Paul. So I swung the bat and my risk is defined. So 15-minute chart, school run. School run would dictate along above the, clearly along above the current 15-minute bar. So put a long order there. And stop loss exactly on the opposite side. And most certainly one could argue this is an edge case, but we should also buy below. Yeah? So the anti comes into place. Forty more seconds. So now we just triggered an anti-school run. So I'm buying the DAX here again. I'm happy with my 40-point stop loss here. Maybe below here would be like super safe. Yeah. But my little long position here is about to get stopped out. much do I risk currently? 583 on that one and 291 on that one. So 300 plus 600, about $900. And 5K is the maximum daily drawdown, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Don't have too many bullets here. If that position got triggered, that order got triggered here, I would move stop loss to entry on the current positions. Could the bloody DAX just go up here? Ugh. There we go. Okay. Closing that position, closing 75 of that position to get my money back. Moving stop loss to break even. And wait for the school run long to be triggered. But that wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. If this ends up in a range, yeah, closing that. Let's have a clean school run, which comes in now. So stop loss must be slightly bigger. So like so. Okay. Let's go. As you see, I'm not waiting for confirmation or bar closes or whatever. Just triggering is enough. So I don't know what else there is. I mean, if that isn't a buy signal, I don't know what is. So how high can this go? Unless I'm getting stopped out. But hey, that's always the risk, right? So what happened here? I don't see anything. Yeah. So again, it's a lot of lines on the chart, right? So forgive me for that. Maybe switch off the pivot points, switch off the prep. So this was the previous cash low, and that here was the previous cash high. I just used the FIB tool, right? And I get these extensions. So we already made contact with this one here, with the 41.4%. We got near the 50%, right? And then there is the 61.8%. And anything in between. So in the traditional pivots, R2 comes in at 79. That would be then the next level. I honestly, I'm rather a short than a long, because exactly of situations like that. You know, I like to look left, but if you look left, there is nothing. Yeah. So there's nothing to orient. So you have to use that. But you know, humans like symmetry, algos like reference points, so they might as well have some validity. But yeah. DAX looks like it's struggling there a little bit again, but we're creeping higher. It's a 5-minute chart. Let's wait for the close. Okay. Oh, I'm on a 15-minute. We got an okay close here. Would be lovely if we closed above the high of number 3. We didn't. But technically bar number 8 made a higher high. Bar number 7 made an ever so slightly higher low. So if this is one of those creeping upward channels, so now this is also a little bit a philosophy standpoint. So if you say, for me, only the market that's open matters, then you could do something like this. So there you would have a very flat channel, but technically a bull channel ever so slightly. Or you take the overnight into consideration, and then you would have, I don't know. Yeah, what would you have? That's, for me, that's the problem with diagonal lines, because they always tend to you always tend to put your own bias into it. You can draw it in so many ways. Yeah. So for that, bar number 9 has 3 minutes to kiss that line. So right now looks more like this. So, and for that, my stop loss is not positioned very well. Huh? But we have to have some patience, right? Have to have some patience. How to delete that bloody thing? Okay. Oh. Certainly feels like there is resistance in that area. Look at the upper shadows here. Yeah? The bars are all, the bull bars are all pushed down. This one was a clear rejection, but definitely below here is a ton of support. So now let's see if this bar just eats through that order block that is nesting above here. So we'll get a 15-minute close in 20 odd seconds. Okay, closed near its high, still some upper shadow left. Didn't close above prior bars, but certainly everything that the bears managed to push down, that was recovered. And there we go, push above. And we're in profit. We're in profit. So we clearly touched now, more or less clearly, depends how accurate, the 50% extension of previous session, low minus high, previous session range. Ugh. But those creepy bull channels are not for me. Can we please make some progress here? That would be lovely. I don't know how to open the bloody chat, guys. It's not full screen. Now I managed to open the bloody chat, guys. So while we are waiting, couple viewers are here. I see 41 viewers. It's nice. So if there's anything you want me to answer, if you have any questions, just drop me a line, write it in the chat, or write me a direct message. This is just boring now, boring waiting game. So bloody hell. I've stopped out here. Unbelievable. Okay, let's be precise here. Stop loss should be below the second 15-minute bar. Which it is. So I hope that idea of that slightly upward tilting bull channel holds, or I'm in fact getting stopped out here. Bloody hell. Not an easy level at all. So if this is a range, but I don't want to add to a loser, right? So buying down here. I also don't want to move stop loss further down. And I also don't want to, after we are well within all-time highs, so don't want to sell the DAX here. That would feel wrong. So guys, if I'm getting stopped out on that position, then it is what it is, right? So you have seen what I have seen. Everything points upwards, and then if it does only a little bit and then comes back down and stops us out, and then it is what it is. Then I will stop trading for the session. And this is my last trade here. what else is there to do? But we have piano candles here, right? Yeah. On the Trade Nation 5-minute chart, that looks so about that. Like we're making here higher lows, and higher highs, ever so slightly. Not an easy session. Why does it always have to be on camera? You know, that I get those tough sessions. Maybe I just change dates. It's always the bloody Wednesdays. Wednesdays are my worst days. I chose Wednesdays because, yeah, what can I say? That's just how I am, right? If I trade live, I'm exceptionally well prepared, and I probably trade better when people are watching. But it's not my best day statistically. And this is slow. With a pin bar or hammer bar, whatever, on the 5-minute. Might as well switch to the 5-minute here. Yeah. Maybe bulls give up. We now push down again. No, I'm disappointed because I really did everything right, and then it doesn't play out, but that's trading, you know? You don't know what will happen. I'm not dead yet, but that just doesn't look so nice, right? Could see that DAX was struggling here to make fresh highs. And this range is rather wide. My stop loss is... That could be one of those structures, right? Where you, a castle structure, where that would just be then moving sideways a little bit and then down till here. Well, maybe we get saved by the bell still. Shit. So far the channel holds. When you're in a trading range like that, or in a channel with such a small slope here, buy low, sell high, right? Buying down below, but I would have technically added to a losing trade. The reason why I just, I was in a long position and I was buying again down here, that was because I had a setup, right? For that. That was an anti-school run, which dictated a long position. Doesn't look good. The sellers pushing it down again. So full hour coming up in 50 seconds. Maybe we're still alive and maybe we will see something. Oh, that's the hourly candle. See a big rejection here. Stop loss sits here. 23 pips. Below here would be a moving stop loss only in one direction, so it needs to sit below the signal bar, which was that one. So that was an hourly close that is not really promising. To me, that rather looks like a sell signal now. But we technically still closed. Yeah, above the overnight high. On the hourly, still bullish, but I'm not so happy with the stop loss placement there. Oh. No. Yeah, at that level always sellers are stepping in. Yeah, I should get out. Was already thinking about closing that whole bloody thing up here, to be honest. Yeah. Well, is what it is. It looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Let's see that we get that live on camera. Oh, just stop me out already. Just, what is that suffering here? Come on. Still not. Oh, bloody hell. This is a painful session. Okay, taking 75% off here. It was just an opportunity to save some money. Should we really push above here, I have no problem adding something back in. But I came this close to be stopped out. So, took a small loss here. Or took a loss of 75% of my position, closed that. Where it was still cheap, because I always saw in this area here that sellers were stepping in and pushing it back down. Right. Okay. Should have closed the whole damn lot up here. But this bloody microstructure here really seems to hold still. Yeah, it's exactly this. Hey, that's a stop loss placement, eh? Okay. Who is still watching? It's the most boring session ever. Bloody hell, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I found the chat. Could you just end my pain and stop me out already? There we go. Whoa. What a shit. Anyway, so see what we did. Oh, did a lot here, right? So that was the espresso long. Took half profits. Stop loss to break even. That thing. Yeah, what happened there? That thing got me. The other half got stopped out, not for zero, but with a little bit of slippage. Then that here was a discretionary long position because we closed above overnight high. Now the DAX goes up. I just anyway. I was thinking I should have a smaller risk on that, so I closed half, got stopped out on the other half, and here that was a school run anti which dictated a long position, scaled out of. Yeah, and that was a regular school run long position which got stopped out. Eventually I just reduced my risk here as there was too much selling pressure on a push in the middle of the range. I took 75% off. That was this one, and then got stopped out on the rest. So bloody hell. So we started with an equity of 99,169 and we ended with 142. That is basically plus minus zero, right? All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you liked this format here. You see, Karaoke Andy can also do prop firm challenges. Let's see if we can win that maybe together or not. Yeah, anyway, you see today was a slow day, excruciatingly slow day. Everything pointed upwards, but the market is just not really doing it yet. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. You guys take care of yourself. Karaoke Andy out.